with us. Hi, guys. How are we doing?
Hey. Amazing, amazing.
Do we have enough to talk about, or what?
We had a lot to talk about.
All right, well, we'll get into the national championship game in just a bit, but let's start with the action from the NFL last night because it was wild. Saturday as well. After another frustrating finish in the playoffs, a ticked-off Lamar Jackson refused to blame tight end Mark Andrews for dropping the pass on a late two-point conversion attempt. The Ravens would go on to lose 27-25 to the Buffalo Bills in Sunday's AFC divisional game. Lamar directed his anger at the Ravens' three uncharacteristic turnovers. Lamar, talk to me.
Every time we're in situations like this, turnovers play a factor. Penalties play a factor. Tonight, the turnovers can't have that shit, and that's why we lost the game, because as you can see, we're moving the ball wonderfully. It's hold on to the ball. I'm sorry for my language, but it's annoying. I'm tired of this.
Well, Cam Newton knew this question was coming if we got the result that we did. But Stephen A., I'm going to start with you. How much blame does Lamar deserve for the loss?
Minimal. I mean, the turnovers are important. Don't get me wrong. And you're driving in the first half and you end up turning the ball over. You threw an interception. It was a bad throw. Certainly that's on him. But it's really, really hard to say the blunt of the blame is on him when the game's on the line, fellas. You march your team down 88 yards. You scored. You need a touchdown and a two-point conversion. You get the touchdown, and then you put it in the hands of a tight end that dropped a couple of passes all year long. And he had a put it right in his hands. This guy, and mind you, you had a drive before that where Terrell Bernard, the linebacker for the Buffalo Bills, knocked it out of Mark Andrews' hands. He hadn't lost a fumble really since 2019, for crying out loud. But it happened yesterday. And so having those two pivotal mistakes count against you as a tight end, as a surefire tight end, one of the great tight ends this game has ever seen. It was incredibly uncharacteristic. Nobody anticipated. You're Lamar Jackson. You drive your team 88 yards for a game-time touchdown, and you put it right in the hands of the dude for the two-point conversion, and he drops that pass. It's hard to look at Lamar Jackson and say, yo, that's on you.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is what we know for certain. 4 teams played this weekend. 3 teams turned the ball over, they're going home.
Exactly.
The other team that didn't turn the ball over and still lost, they gave up 8 sacks. When you play this game at this level, you know this, Cam, the teams are really, really even. And sometimes the difference in the ball game is a turnover. Now, if you look at Detroit, and we're going to talk about this a little later, you look at Detroit and Washington. When you turn the ball over, you bring a team that you're better than, you bring them up to your level, or you go drop down to their level. This is what we know about Lamar also. In 8 playoff games, 4 of those games, he's turned the ball over multiple times. 50% of the time, he's turned the ball over. Let me ask you a question. When he fumbled that ball, did Buffalo get points out of that?
Yes, sir.
So now you're allowing teams to get points on your possession. You don't stay on the field. Now, a lot of this, they got away from what they do really, really well, which irks me about the Baltimore Ravens, because they are a running football team, and sometimes they get into the playoffs, and all of a sudden they want to throw the ball all over the yard. Those turnovers, Lamar Jackson is frustrated at himself because he's like, hold on. I haven't had a game all year where I've had multiple turnovers. And I wait till the biggest moment on the biggest stage, and I turn the ball over twice. Stephen A., Lamar Jackson is going to be a 3-time league MVP. But he has yet to put one of those games together like we have see him in the regular season, where he's perfect quarterback rating, 158.3. When you turn the ball over in the postseason, you pay double. And more times than not, if the other team doesn't turn the ball over, you're going home no matter how great your regular season was. Those turnovers were very, very costly.
Yeah, very costly indeed. But ball security is job security.
Yes.
And you cannot overlook the bed that you put yourself in. As the grandma used to say, you make the bed, you got to lay in it. And you put yourself so far into a deficit early. The careless ball play, with him trying to make a play, trying too hard to make a play. Just go down. The inaccurate pass, okay, cool. Mark Andrews' fumble. Those led to 10 points for Buffalo. 10 points. You lost the game by 2, Stephen A. You lost the game by 2, Shay.
Yes.
So you're talking about did it matter? Absolutely. It should not have even came down to a situation like that, because you still got that time to start the game, starting fast, and that didn't happen.
Let me throw this by y'all. When we talk about greatness, which both of y'all know something about, we're talking about moments. On many, many occasions, we see ourselves up here talking about moments. They were down 21-10 at the half.
Right.
They were reeling. And these brothers come back. And then I'm saying, okay, you down 27-19. Not only do I need a touchdown, but I need a two-point conversion. I got to do this. I'm the two-time league MVP. I'm probably going to get a third. Everybody and their grandmama watching me, and they waiting for me to fold because that's what's happened in the past. And I drive 88 yards, and I close the deal, and I throw a strike to Likely. You got the touchdown. And then after that, all I need is a two-point conversion. The likelihood is we going into overtime the way the defense was flowing, right?
Yeah.
And I put it right into the hands of one of the more reliable tight ends in history. I'm not saying those turnovers didn't hurt him. I'm not saying that you can't count those. I understand that. I'm not completely absolving them. But what I'm saying is greatness far more often than not is measured in moments. And when that moment showed up, you, me, everybody, we sitting there, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's 27-19, you need a damn touchdown and a two-point conversion. And he did it.
The last,
And that's why I can't take that away from him.
Go ahead. The last drive, it was masterful from Lamar. No doubt about it. He's making plays. He's extending plays, and everybody's on the edge like, whoa. Yes. Yeah. He's doing that. We need help. Supporting cast is key. We need help. Mark Andrews, we need you. Lamar Jackson will never say it's his fault.
Right.
But it was. It was so many different things. The Baltimore Ravens won't say it was Lamar's fault. But in some cases, it was. I've been the biggest Lamar Jackson fan and still riding with my dog. But still, that senseless play cost you. I'm looking at the stat line where I'm like, man, Lamar did come back strong. And I'm looking at Josh Allen, and I'm like, he didn't have an MVP-type game. He just didn't turn the ball over.
127 yards passing. 20 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And you lose the game. Why? If you don't turn the ball over, Stephen A., you don't need an 88-yard drive at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You're comfortably ahead. Guess what? You need now. Josh Allen needs to have the type of game in the final drive in order to get his team back in it.
For sure.
When you turn the ball over in the postseason, you pay double. Lamar Jackson far too many times has turned the ball over. He did this against Tennessee. Remember the first year he won the MVP. He had 500 yards of total offense, but he had 3 turnovers. Did those turnovers help the opposing team win? Yes. What I've been saying all year long, but people been killing me. Joe Burrow's playing great, but what role did his turnovers play in them losing the game?
Right.
What role did Lamar Jackson's turnovers play in the Baltimore Ravens losing the game?
But usually when you got on Joe Burrow about those turnovers, it was because those turnovers came late. Like you didn't hold the earlier turnovers against them as much as you held the late turnovers.
Right.
So to me, had the turnovers occurred in the fourth quarter, we'd be singing a different song. But the fact that he had that on his shoulders and he answered the call, I got to give credit for that.
But you also understand, Stephen A., in a situation like this, the Buffalo Bills are saying nothing cheap, nothing deep. We're going to make you nickel and dime your way down the field, and hopefully, long as we don't give you one big play. Now, you got to remember now, there's 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock.
Right.
So now Josh Allen was going to get an opportunity to put his cape on.
For sure.
And so now, because they got real conservative, let's not do anything careless.